Hello, and welcome back to episode 86 of the No Excuses podcast. I have tried so hard to video and upload to you in the last fortnight that, it's been quite a journey. I have posted on Instagram and a couple of times on YouTube to let you know what's happening, but I'm really sorry, not for the want of trying. My GoPro gave up. We've had it 3 years. We bought it second hand. We then put a bid on a camera because I wanted a camera where I could see myself, for holding things up to you, to make sure it was in shot and everything. So I wanted a front-facing screen. Put in a bid on eBay on the camera, and in the meantime, Tom found the action camera that I'm now using and it is called that an Action 4. He found on Amazon for a fairly good price and decided that might be a better option for me because only small, I can carry it around and the build quality is excellent and it's quite intuitive to use, especially since I'm after using the GoPro. So we ordered that one. Luckily, we didn't get the one on eBay. Somebody bid a lot higher than us. And we then ordered it. Couldn't make the old memory card work in the new camera. Ordered a new one. It came. It was the wrong size. Ordered another one. That came on Monday. I tried to record. I was all dressed up in my love note and coordinating top. You're not getting that now. And it kept turning off after 5 minutes. I found out why. And then on Tuesday, I ended up, it wouldn't upload into my editing suite software. And then Tuesday, I did 2 separate videos, again wearing my love note, because I had to pop out in between. And I tried to put them onto the software. It failed. I downloaded some new software, spent 5 hours trying to learn how to do the basics yesterday. And my computer kept crashing. And then we decided it's probably because we got this new camera, because it's so good, it turned up too high, and the files it was producing were probably too big for not the software, but my laptop. So at the end of all that, I'm back, I'm here, and I won't be away for that long again. I may try and start uploading every week a shorter video, or I quite like the fortnightly one because I think I've got a bit more to show you, because sometimes I feel like I haven't achieved very much. So we'll see. I hope this works for you. So when I actually did my notes, look at that lovely autumnal spread. When I did my notes for this, it was Saturday the 5th of October, and today it is the 17th of October. And I'm not wearing my love note, I'm wearing one of my house jumpers. And this is the one that goes from orange to brown, like it does on the sleeves, to grey. Really like the colours on this one, they've worked very well. Possibly because I was using fewer mini skeins and more whole skeins. So the colours flow a bit better. Not that it mattered, on my house jumpers. But I've got one that I probably wore a few weeks ago, and that's gone in the bin because it just got too tatty. And if it goes in the bin, it means I can make a new one, doesn't it? Because goodness knows, I may have the wool. Anyway, if I look up like that, it's because this screen's so small I can't see the writing on it. I'm going to do about 20 minutes, and then I'll do another one as well. Whether I upload them separately to YouTube will depend on the software. So I'll link them anyway if I end up having to put them up separately. But we should be okay. After all that, I did want to explain, albeit briefly, why I was missing. It wasn't for the want of trying, as I say. How are you? And what have you been doing? I know a lot of you keep in touch, and it's great to hear from you. And I know some of you I've never even spoken to on social media or anything, but you still come back and watch me. Thank you very much. So we'll get into the admin. First of all, the make-alongs. I'm trying not to talk too fast. The make-alongs, the ones that lasted until the end of September, are now over. And that was the bigger the better, i.e. over 400 grams in one project, or those that are similar, i.e. a selection of socks or hats. And the other one was called Craft More in 24, that I failed abysmally at, because, well, I did a bit of sewing. I did the gingham top, which we still need to alter, and the blue blouse. So, but that's all. You did far better than me. A lot of you joined in very well, and thank you for that. I've not finished putting everything together yet, so I'll talk about that in a couple of weeks' time, when I can announce the winners as well. So that means we have new make-alongs. And first of all, it's going to be obvious, isn't it? It's going to be the jump-along. And the jump-along is going to be from now until the end of March, like I run it every year. And I think this is either must be the third year, I think, that we've done it. This is any adult size jumper, cardigan or top, but it can be a vest, as long as it's one of those that are designed to sit outside on top of your dress or your shirt or jumper, top, whatever, not one that's been designed to sit next to your skin like the bralette or sort of any sort of type of undergarment. So get your entries in. I will put a thread on Ravelry, and I will put the hashtags here on the screen for you to tag on Instagram as well. You'll see it on the screen, hopefully. I tried looking for last year's on Instagram yesterday to see what I'd called it, whether I'd put 2023 or 2024 on it, because it crosses over the 2 years, and I couldn't find it at all. So I don't know what Instagram does with these hashtags. So please always tag me at Sparknits if you want to enter via Instagram, and I can always pick you up then, not a problem. And then the other one has been decided or helped. I've been helped by Sal. That's Welsh Sal in Wales, in South Wales. Hello, Sal. And she said, why don't you have, and I can't say it, and I think that's why she said it to me, because I can't say it, and it's a double along, or we're going to call it a dub along. And quite simply, that is, you're making something, as long as it's not a dishcloth, but I don't know why you want to do that to a dishcloth anyway, but you're holding 2 strands or more of yarn together. It doesn't have to be mohair. These jumpers I wear, my house jumpers, are 2 strands of 4-ply together to make up an Aran stroke worsted. Wait, I must keep the hands down. Got a different view on this camera, you see. Or you're doing colour work, so i.e. more than one colour. So I kept it simple, and I just kept it simple. I'm still doing quite a bit of fluff, and I know there's some of you that don't like fluff, but I seem to be doing a few things with fluff or colour work in mind for going forward, my plans for next year, as if I'd plan, right. So yeah, wanted something to encompass that, and hopefully you can join in too. And I will put the hashtag on the screen and the open a thread in Ravelry. I want to give a big thank you to everybody that joins in with the mouse. I'm only a little podcaster. Well, I'm quite short in height, but quite wide in I can't say wide in width. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I won't say anything, otherwise my mum will be putting words down below that could be used, wouldn't you, Mum? And don't keep telling people I fitted in a shoebox when I was born. I certainly slept in a drawer. Anyway, what am I thinking of? Yes, I don't have too many subscribers. I'm a small podcaster in that extent, and I get a very good response to my mails from you lovely, loyal customers. No, not... Oh, shut up, Anne. I can't cut things out of this very much because I just really want to get this up today, Thursday evening. So yes, those are the mouths, and everything I talk about should be down below. And if you want to ask me a question, you can ask me on YouTube down below, or make a comment. Comments are lovely for the algorithms. They spread my name far and wide, or at least next door. And you can contact me on email at spaknitsandcrafts@gmail.com, but that's down below, and you can talk to me on Ravelry as well. There are so many ways, and a lot of you do, so thank you. Now, let's get on to finished items. Finished is my mum's ochre cardigan. It's a pattern by Ambah O'Brien, and I found the pattern when I was looking for something with a larger gauge, a looser gauge, to use up the yellow wools that I'd knitted my garter version of this in, but it seemed to grow and grow and grow, and I don't know why, and it was very heavy as well. So I took all that apart and I knitted the ochre cardigan for myself in ochreish colours, and that's what confuses my brain when I say the name of it. Anyway, Mum has finally got it. I'll put some pictures of her wearing it in here, and I'm pleased with it. I'm very pleased with it. It's got a bit of 1x1 colour work near the bottom where I tried to mix and match the dark and lighter colours as it sort of went down from light to dark. I don't like using the word fade, but there you go. And yeah, and I quite like I've done the hem. The original pattern's got a bit of lace, very basic lace on the hem and the cuffs, and I did garter on Mum's like I did on my own, and I've got she wanted a wider garter front band because it doesn't have buttons, it doesn't meet. We used to call them edge-to-edge jackets when I had one a few years ago in sort of a nice beigey cream colour. Anyway, I digress. I wonder where that was from. Maybe C&A. And yeah, and that goes from light to dark as well, and I quite like the way that's worked out. And I've done an I-cord cast off all the way around. So there you go, Mum. That should last you now for a while until I make you something else. I've got many things to make for many people that I want to do, and I will. And yes, Michelle, that includes you, but no, nothing in black. I'm telling you now. I will do you some wrist warmers soonish. Been saying that probably for about 2 years. Anyway, so we said goodbye to my house job, and that's the only finished item I've got. So we're now going to go on to progress, and the first progress I'm going to show you is sat right by me. So here we go. I am in a right mess here, as you can imagine. This is my Stromboli, which is a volcano, I think, isn't it? Volcano in Italy. And that's my Stromboli front, which I've shown you before. It's made in merino silk and yak, and it's a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and it's really nice because it's got this is the sleeve that I've finished, and you can see the texture of the knot stitch. I haven't sewn the end in because I'm not sure whether I want to add some length. I think it's going to be okay because I've tried it on without any sleeves. The pattern does a bit, let's see, it hugs the bosom a little bit, but that might go once it's been blocked. Not that I block anything aggressively. Because I've had such trouble with the videos, I've been able to cast on the second sleeve, and I've now done hardly not a couple of inches yet. So I'm hoping to get this done by the weekend, and then, I mean, we've got beautiful weather today, although it did look like it was going to rain a few minutes ago. But if I can get this done at the weekend and get it blocked, I can start wearing it, can't I? The colour is as gold as brass by, I think it's Emma of Yarnworthy. I don't think it's needle and thread, and if it is, I will correct it on the screen. Yeah, because she doesn't do that base. Libby doesn't. This, and of course Emma doesn't die anymore for health reasons. So, and I'll just remind you that I've done a rib back instead of the central panel. I've got the knot stitches at the side. But I must say, I was having colour problems when I was recording with my phone, because I only buy cheap phones, and it sort of kept flashing. But this looks like it's going to hold its colour fairly well as well. So that is the Stromboli. And then this beauty, which I love, and would certainly, if I was allowed to enter my own make-alongs, but what would be the point, Anne, is the Odette jumper, and it's a pattern. Let me show you that. Which is the front and which is the back. Oh, not that it matters for me just to hold it up to you. This is the Odette jumper. It is a crew neck with setting sleeves by Sally Norland. Quite like Sally's patterns. I've tried to knit the couture with the lace on the yoke, but I failed at that because my yarn choice wasn't right for the pattern, and I need to do that again as well. So you can see at the moment I'm using mustard with this colour called Hydrangea Aspera, and it's lovely dusky pink and mustardy colour, so it picks up the colour nicely. And those are both by Botanical Yarns, Sophie of Botanical Yarns. She did the fluff in that colour, that lovely pinky colour, and then she had sort of a set of minis, and it had purple in and that. I've got most of them here. I think I bought 6 skeins off her. I can't add up, as you know, but bought 6 skeins off her, and I bought 2 purples thinking I'd start at the top, and I had nothing specific in mind when I bought it, but I sold the 2 purple ones last year as part of my D-stash. I don't regret it, that's why I've still got plenty here. So if I'll show you the thing, then that is called Socially Distant Santa, and strangely that was dyed by Emma of Yarnworthy as well. Obviously I've lost one of my favourite dyers, but it goes remarkably well because it's BFL. Apart from the mohair, it's all BFL. Go remarkably well with the other colours that Sophie had dyed. We've got a plain grey. I'm not sure whether this is part of the set, but I think it's a BFL. And then the Hydrangea Aspera in the BFL. And again, you can see flecks of sort of greeny mustard in there. And then finally, excuse the scrunching, we also have a speckled grey, and that's got the purple, it's got all the other colours in basically, and that's got the purples in, the ones that I sort of sold, which I don't regret because I've got loads here. And yeah, and I'm really, really pleased with it. I started the Odette as part of the trial cast-ons, and if you don't know what that is, then basically Ange of Yarn and Yarns does, I think this might be her 4th or 5th year coming up. Between Christmas and the end of January, you cast on between 1 and 12 items with her. It's just a bit of fun. She does one most days, or she used to, but now she's working almost full time. Then she's got less time, so before the end of January you cast on up to 12 items, and you're just joining the fun and post pictures of your cast-ons. And I'm already thinking about what I'm going to cast on come the new year. For instance, I was talking to Sal again, hello Sal again, about the love note, because she bought a lovely red mohair and a was it a merino from Fibre Spates, was it? I don't know, you had the 2 matching colours, and she was going to do a red love note. And years back, Sal's been following me since the first year, like many of you have. And she said, "You're going to knit another love note?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I will actually, having worn the one I've got." And so he said, "We'll knit it together." I thought, we'll do it as part of the 12 cast-ons, you say, because it gives me an excuse to cast on. And if you do that, I find it's helped me the last 2 years, because although I don't like having all these things on the needle started, I do find it means I can pick them up and get on with them. But with the Odette jumper, I, in my infinite wisdom, and you know what I'm like at knitting things twice, decided that I knew better than the designer. And I didn't like the fact it was so wide across the shoulders. You can see how narrow my shoulders are compared to lower down. And so I thought I'd start with a smaller neckline and then increase slowly until I get to, and do the increase until I get to the bigger size at the underarms. And I wrote lots of notes, but when I picked them up, I just couldn't be bothered to read them and get my head round it. So I undid them. The wool that I'd used for that little bit, I just knitted from the back of the neck down to the armholes. And I was about to, join on the front shoulders things. I used those little bits of wool from each stripe, and I made my little crochet squares out of them. So none of it's wasted, and I'm reusing the mohair. So yes, I'm now doing the second to biggest size, and if the shoulders don't look right, it'll look more like a drop sleeve than a setting sleeve, won't it? I did do another swatch. I'll just show you this. And this is on using a grey, which is drops. That looks blue a bit. It is a duller steel grey, really. And I did do a swatch on, look at me swatching, on that. I prefer the pink, but I did that just in case I ran out of the pink fluff. I don't think I'm going to, because I gave Penny one Christmas, because I had quite a few of the hydrangea. It must have cost me a small fortune to buy all that. And I bought too many. I keep buying too many mohair because it always goes further than you think. And I asked for it back, and she hadn't used it, so she gladly gave it me back, I hope. Sorry, Penny. So yes, I'm cracking on with that, and I've joined in I'm working in the round now, the underarms down, and I'm very, very pleased with it. And I think that is all my progress. So I'm going to stop the camera and start a new video, so that I help up with the uploading. The other thing I have been doing is I've done quite a bit more work on the cord, using that little 3-hook gadget thing towards making Tom's scrappy jumper, which I'd like to make him for Christmas, but I'd have to get a wiggle on, wouldn't I? Where are the days going to, I ask? Right, I will see you. Well, if they're joined up, you won't see any difference, or there might be separate videos. We'll see how it goes. I don't know why, but I bought these, and I'm not saying I don't like them. I've been collecting DK Merino for a while now, and these are from Wildflower Yarn, and they are 50 grams, 6 of them, and they're called a holographic unicorn. Now, Quiver, I think that's how you pronounce the name, an Irish name, is very good at pastels, variants like this and variants like this, and just these sort of, you get a certain vibe, and rainbows, unicorn type things from her Etsy shop. I'll leave a link down below. That's a bit more yellowy than the other one with cream, and that's more yellow than the one I showed you before. You get the idea anyway. And then there's that one. So I will do my usual thing of trying to hold them up together if other things don't fall off the table. So we have got Dee, dee, dee. Dee, dee, dee. There we go. So there to go in my DK Merino blanket. Now, I bought some from James Makes Things, 2 skeins of his Beanie Babies, and that was a couple of months ago now. And before that, I bought some a couple of years ago. I bought some from Fearless Yarns, which is a really nice sort of. It's got green and other colours in it, but I think she stopped dyeing because her website's closed. But she got fairly sort of not a criticism, but fairly erratic at posting. She said she's got a grandchild now, so no doubt she's got other things on her mind. But I really quite liked her colours, very strong, vibrant versions of similar to that, really. So that's my wool, and that's the only wool I've bought. I bought some for gifts, but I can't show you those. And then I bought from Aberesque Scissors lady in Australia. I bought let me get the name, like the Crafted Life Companion pattern. Put some photographs up, and it's basically a covering for an A5 book like this. And I've got a soft back grid one to cover, and then you have that sits on one side, and you make like pockets and things for pens and scissors or washi tape in the other side. And the idea is you can take it around with you, and it's good for bullet journaling or journaling full stop. If I am keeping up with it, but not very well. I think next year I'm going to combine my journaling with my podcasts, and I think I would make a far better job of what I'm doing then, because it could be more of a crafting diary. And I bought the pattern for the Life Companion because I wanted to have a go at making something a bit different using the sewing machine. And I bought a couple of patterns. I bought the Driftwood jumper by K Crochets, and I will put a link down below. I watch Ruth of the Counting Sheep podcast. Ruth is based in Vermont on what we would call a small holding. She's got a few sheep and hens and on a bit of land, and she does more than your average person crocheting garments, from what I've seen on podcasts anyway. I know some people are purely crocheters or 80% crocheters, but Ruth made some lovely garments in crochet, and she also knits and spins. Well, I saw this jumper, the Driftwood jumper, and it's by Craig Crochet, sorry. And it's in Tunisian crochet, which is one of the things I want to have a go at. I bought the hooks last year and I've done nothing. Anita's had a go at it, haven't you, Anita? And what she's done is lovely. But I should have done it as part of my Craft More in 24 push, but, I say one thing and I do another all the time. And, yes, put a photograph of the jumper of the pattern, and you can see what I mean by the texture. But yes, if you like crochet and you're wondering about what to make to wear, then I recommend Ruth's podcast. And then when I did that big yellow jumper, the garter one, and I was looking for something on a looser gauge, and I found the Ochre cardigan. What I wanted really was like a big baggy jumper, or not to say it was baggy, but anyway, I was watching Libby of Needle and Thread came up on my Instagram feed, and she was saying that she had to undo part of her Lento jumper, but it didn't matter too much because it's on 6mm needles. And I went, ding ding, 6mm needles, oh, that's good, isn't it? And so I got that jumper as well, that pattern. And it's by, now I've got her name wrong, it's in the Yona, I've got Helen written here, but I've seen a different version of that name written down. So it's via the Liner magazine, but I'll put the links to the Ravelry pattern in the links below. And for those of you that don't know, it's a crew neck cardigan or a round neck cardigan, whatever you call it, on a fairly loose gauge. And I'm going to do mine with the Wool Warehouse's own brand Yarnsmiths linen, the Merino Soft, that I showed you a couple of last episode or the episodes before, and I'm going to pair it with that Zakami floof called Sol, the other one with all the different colours in, and I'm going to make a lento with that, and that's another cast on, trial cast on. See, I've got 2 already. Yeah, sorry, I kept looking down at my notes because I've done this so many times. I should be able to talk about it in my sleep, but I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Also, and I'm going to blame Suzanne for this, Suzanne Carney for this, I bought that, I hope it's going to look the right way around. This is the Only Yoking book, and it's by Olga Putano. 16 patterns for yokes, colourful yokes. Now, I've seen this in a couple of places since Suzanne showed her makes. I'm just going to show you pictures of a couple of them. And the book goes from DK, lace weight, Aran, and fingering, 4-ply. Some of them, I'll show you one with just a cable instead of a colour. Let me just find one with just a colour. There we go. I love the colour. And that's just a cable texture rather than using colourwork. There's 16 patterns in here. So you get the yoke, you do the yoke, and then your body is the same for the other, all 4 in that category, depending on what weight of yarn you're using. But I particularly like the one on the front because I like the fact it's got the colour at the top and down here. The main colour seeps in. I quite like that. But, and this will be another cast on, she says, sort of off the top of my head. I should show that one as well. I'll show you the pictures there. And this book, I got it off eBay for less than £14, and it's a David and Charles book, which I've seen quite a few of them. RRP, $16.99 in the UK. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a go with that. Cast on number 3. I don't yet know which one to do and what. And then I had a book come the other day from Amazon. And Tom said, "You got a book?" I said, "Well, I haven't ordered a book." "What do you mean?" Anyway, I said, "Oh, perhaps somebody sent it me," because people, sent me gifts and things. No name, but I know that can be hard to do on Amazon. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a look and see if any messages have been left or anything. And when I looked at the Amazon, went into Amazon, it was under I'd ordered it back in August. And it's called the Doodle Knit Directory, and it's by Jamie Lomax. Now, you may know of Jamie Lomax because if you look on Ravelry, she's got hundreds. There's 200 in here, hundreds of mix and match motifs. Now, I had the alternate, which I sold because I didn't think I was going to use anything in it. But this is all sticking to the same 16 inches or fewer. So you can mix and match them into colour work. And just like the alternate, I'll just show you one page. You get a picture of the knitted item, and then you get a graph on that side. You've got 200, and it gives you advice on what to use, etc. But she has got some patterns in here, and I wanted to show you the penguin cowl. if I can find it. There's lots of mittens and things, little things, but I should have bookmarked this, but you know me, you don't do anything. Well, let's show you the hat. Versions of the same hat. And just have a quick look to see if I can find the cowl. No, doesn't look like it's there. I can't see it easily anyway. One with sheep on there, fingerless mitts, DK. So you can use any weight, can't you? Mix and match, etc. So, and again, it's a David and Charles book, and that was from Amazon. It was a pre-order. So I bought those 2 books, but I'm interested. I want to know if any of you are interested in buying my contrast book, which I'm going to show you now. This is the beautiful contrast book, and it's, I'm not going to even try and pronounce the lady's name, Mayu KP's knitting patterns. Now, you can look at all the patterns on Ravelry. They may be available individually now, I don't know, but, and I've got a tale to tell you about the thing I've knitted from here. If you recall, I bought this beautiful book, bought it from Ambah of Yarn and Yarns. It's got, as you'd expect, beautiful photography. I'll show you a couple because it hurts my arms holding it up, which is why I wrote to them and said to them, could I please have a, the PDF version, because I'm finding it hard to use the book, you see. And they said no. So I told you about it on here, and a very nice lady from across the pond wrote to them and said, I think it's disgusting that you're not helping this person out. And, you know, genuinely, I mean, I genuinely bought it not expecting it to be this heavy and big, and I can't use it as a book. And they said to me, take photographs of the pages you want to use. And I thought, well, you tell people not to do things like that, and I suppose you could have dragged them into Knit Companion. Anyway, because this lovely lady told them what she thought of their policy, they immediately relented and apologised profusely to her and me and gave it me straight away. So I've already got them. Now bear in mind that Pom Pom and things like Knits About Winter or Knitting from the North, I can't remember which one it was, both came, if you had one, you had the Ravelry code or the website code, it was Liner or Pom Pom, to download the PDF version as well. So why don't they do that here? Is this Liner? Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is one that I want to knit soon. It's called Green Cress, and it's a shawl. Right, now I'd like to sell this book because I can't hold it. I've looked at it a couple of times. I would say it's as new. As far as I can tell, I haven't put any errata in there, but if there is any errata, you only need to go to the Liner Publishing website, put errata in and contrasts, and it will come up, because I had a look for the Blue Moment, which is the one, I will show you that. This is the one that I made. That's the one I made. Cardigan in lace. Yes, so I had a look on various websites. This is still selling for roughly its original price, which was £35. Sometimes you can get it free postage. The UK only. If anybody's interested, and please, you know, if you're not, then that's fine. But I'd like £20 for it, plus £3 postage. So if anybody's interested in this gorgeous book, it has got, I can't remember how many patterns, I'll tell you how many patterns it's got. It uses some of it's got a crease in the front hardback as soon as you turn it over. That was done when the book was put together, I think. Nothing I've done. Right, it's got in it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 22 patterns. Some of them are variations using, like they've done on a theme. So they've used the same texture stitch for a hat and a cardigan or a shawl. Or there's one that's got a hood on, and then a long line cardigan with a hood, a shorter version, and a hat, things like that. But mainly they're different patterns. So yeah, you get quite a few for your money, and beautiful, and they're all in different weights. And the charts, they come with charts and I think written instructions as well. Let me just check that, because I know that a lot of people prefer written instruction. Yeah, it comes with written instructions as well as charted. So yeah, everything you could possibly want if you're interested. First come, first serve, UK only. Thank you very much for listening. I'm not going just yet, in a minute. Right, because it's just sat on the shelf, you see, and it's a shame because I don't want to waste a book. I don't want it to get foxed over the years because, because I'm not able to use it. Right then, let us look at activity. I'll tell you about my Blue Moment cardigan first of all. I went to see my sister, and when I go into someone else's house, I can't use a power chair. I have to use my manual, and it's got big push wheels on it. But even though I can't really push myself, but it's got big push wheels on it. And we went to my sister's, and all I did, got out the car into the chair. Tom pushed me into the house. Then I went to the loo and back, and then got back in the car. And it had sat on the side, ready to be put away back into the wardrobe, because you can't get in the wardrobes there without moving at least 2 items, because I'm such a messy devil, got nowhere to put anything. Anyway, I looked at it, I was about to fold it up, and I thought, oh, these guys are all fluffy at the sides. Oh, what's going on there? And I looked at it, I saw where the placement was, and realised it was at the sides. So when did I wear this? I was in my manual. And what's happened is, my generous hips, we'll call them that, have the material from the cardigan, because it was worn open and not shut, I'd brushed onto the wheels as it was going, and it just fluffed up the merino yak and silk to the point it was grey. And I think that's probably the yak coming through, or maybe, because I do notice that on my Soundwave top, which is mainly undyed grey, it does peel little black bits. Not excessively, not as bad as merino, but it does peel a little bit, and I picked those off, and that's fine. But this was quite damaged, so I get a pair of scissors, little ones, right, and I start very carefully cutting some of the fluff away, because it's not going to go and blend back in. And I'm a bit worried, because if I put anything in my hands, I'll start shaking it at you. I'm a bit worried because I don't know, I put a lot of effort into these cardigan, and the wool was bought for me by my sister as part of my 60th birthday present, and I like it, I love it. It's got I've put some old glass buttons on it as well, so I really like the combination. And then I noticed there was some up the front as well, possibly where my seatbelt had been. I've just realised that talking to you, and I went like that near the front. I know, and I cut through some of the lace. Now that is all lace, right? All lace, and it's I cut through not a bit of stocking stitch. Oh no, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? To the eyelets. Anyway, I've rolled it up. I put stitch markers through to catch the stitches, stop it running, and I've rolled it up, and it's gone back in the wardrobe with my summer stuff while I think about what to do with it, because I can't find any spare yarn to do a patch with or to do something different with. And the other thing, I'm a bit disappointed that it seems to have faded quite a bit. So I don't know if that's to do with the yarn. It hasn't been washed since I washed it to wear it the first time. Can't remember how much dye came out of it, but certainly I'm wondering whether, because some dyes take differently to different yarn combos, so maybe it didn't, it's just faded naturally, I don't know. So that's a bit of a problem, and I'm very disappointed in myself for being such an idiot, because I know better than to do that. And I think the best way to deal with it is to undo it and maybe do it again in a different yarn. Make some side panels for my manual chair. Okay, right. Activity. Oh no, before we do that, sorry, Alison. I very briefly want to say that I have started making the bags for the Stroke Association fundraiser for this year, and I've got pouches and bags, not pouches and pags, to make. I've made 5, and now once hopefully this gets up and running, I can then put myself back onto the bags and carry on making those. I'm quite enjoying it, but I'm being rather slow. They should all be finished by the end of October, hopefully. The very latest. They should be in the post by the second week in November. But I'll let you know when I want paying, etc. Yes, well, since I saw you last, I went to see a swivel seat. And that's one that comes out the passenger side and it lowers down and you sit on it and you use a remote control and it puts you back in the car again. And it was on the passenger side I tried it. I think it was a Citroen Berlingo. But I wasn't so keen, it was very slow. And I had to sort of sit over at one side because my legs stick out, they don't bend. They're only short though, in order to get round into the door, without really kicking the door. I had to put my legs over to one side of the chair, and even at its highest setting I could see over the top of the dashboard. But that's because of the way that particular seat had been set. He did say you'd need a bigger vehicle if you wanted that sort of thing on the driver's side. And then they started talking, him and Tom, about using a 6-way seat, which is one where you get in the back in your chair and the seat comes round to face you, the driver's seat does, and you get into that. Because I realised that that would be the best option for us, because then we wouldn't have to keep swapping driver's seats over, because the idea is I wanted to drive, and of course Tom wants to drive as well. So we got into I went and tried one. But on the way to go to try the swivel seat, I accidentally got on the M6 toll. Got off at the first exit, cost us £10. Wound the window down, I couldn't reach the side panel, I couldn't reach the button to talk to anybody. So Tom had to get out of the car, even it says don't get out of the car, and pay. So I wrote to them and I said, well, what would happen if I'd been on my own? He said, we would have seen you and we would have spoken to you through our control system. He said, and you do know you're probably exempt anyway. And I am on 2 of the things, my PIP and the fact that my car is registered disabled, so I don't pay road tax, means that I didn't have to pay. But you have to pre-register your car every year, which is worth it if you're going to go up there regularly. But if I want to go up to the left and get on the M6, I wouldn't start off on the M42. So, anyway, so that was exciting, isn't it? So we had to go all the way through Tamworth, and we were half an hour late for the appointment. I hate being late for things. Now, and then a couple of weeks later, I found a seat that swings round. You go in the back in your chair, swings round to you using controls. I got in it, and by the time I'd swung back round, I think I was exhausted. I'd had to go to a very strange toilet because they're a disabled toilet. Bearing in mind they sell wheelchair accessible vehicles, their disabled toilet was a tall toilet on about an 8-inch plinth, so it's right up in the air. I said, that's not a disabled toilet, but he wasn't bothered. He's a salesman there. Anyway, he wasn't going to argue with me. Anyway, I had to use the ladies, and that was a bit of a struggle, but we got there. So by the time I'd gone in the car and I'd put myself on this other seat, although I think I could have made it work, I knew that if I was tired, I would struggle to drive. So we've got a lot of thinking to do. I've stopped looking for the time being. I'll keep my eye on the market in a bit. You know, it's a bit of a wake-up call for me. So, yeah, unfortunately. I went to see my sister. She's had a big extension done on the house that when they moved in, they've got a bungalow similar size and age to ours. But they've had several add-ons that don't really make sense. So the idea was, when they bought it during COVID, was that they'd have a whole new back of the house put on, which they've now had done. And it looks beautiful. It looks really, really nice. And she's invited us all down for Christmas dinner, which I definitely want to be able to do, because you never know, because my nephew, one's 30, the other one's 27. You never know when they're going to say, oh, we're not coming, we're going to be with our girlfriend or whatever this year. Or Scott wasn't with us last year because he was the other side of the world on a year off. But yeah, so I want to make sure that I attend if I can. And I think that's it really. I went out. I've been avoiding going out. I went to Longbridge with Mum and my sister-in-law Naomi. Saw a couple of nice things. Had a look when I got back. They weren't available in my size. The one wasn't, and the other one I decided against it. But I didn't have a coat on because I thought, well, I'm indoors. It was a cold day-ish. But we went round the food hall in M&S and I got very, very cold. And I decided to go to the loo before going home. And it took me ages to stand up. And we had like 20 minutes to go. And we drove out of the car park just as we were about 2 minutes over, according to my car clock. So whether they'll find us or not, I don't know, because you get 3 hours free parking. But yeah, it took me ages, and by the time I got home, I felt not poorly, but I was zonked. So yes, I get tired easily, and I blame the winter. Couldn't get out of bed this morning either after my shower. I had to go back to bed again. But once I'm up, I'm not too bad. Yeah, and I cancelled going out yesterday because I'm frightened of how I'll feel. I'm going to build up some stamina. Right, just past 31 minutes. Some of that'll get edited out. But I really hope this appears on Thursday night for you. Thank you very much for bearing with me. I will be back fairly soon with the male winners, hopefully next week, in the next week to 10 days. I'll see you soon. You take care. Bye.